Ask you straight into the business of a phone call that you put into Max's father, in which you said, please get your son to stay out of this fight. What were your reasons for doing that? Why did you feel that you must?
No, it was different. I have a very good relationship with Jos, and I'm a silent fan of Max because I think Max is very good for Formula-1. He races hard and he's a character, and that's important these days. You don't want to, you need controversial personalities. And among my discussion with Jos was, first of all, I said, please come back to the races. I think you're somebody he probably listens the most. And there is a bit of a negative spin around Max because of his hard racing. People, tweak his words, and he's been caught out in certain situations. And you've been with him 20 years racing, so I think you're doing good if you are with Max. And I said this from a personal perspective, not as the Mercedes guy. And number two is that we talked through a situation. Imagine the fight goes down to the wire between Nico and Lewis, and there is a hard maneuver, and Max loses it and shunts into one of our guys, and the championship is over. He doesn't need that discussion. It's not necessary. It's just, I didn't say don't race them. I think it's important he races them, but just keep that tiny little margin of avoiding a collision, because that would be very controversial indeed for everybody.
If I was a team boss and had your line of communication, I would have done exactly the same thing. But I would also understand Christian Horner going, what are you doing talking to my driver's dad? And maybe if he rang Keke Rosberg up and started talking stories, you'd be a bit miffed about that. But my point would be, if you tell somebody not to do something like don't crash into us, it's a bit like saying don't think of a pink elephant, because the first thing that comes into your head is a pink elephant, isn't it? And if you don't race hard, if you think, oh, even subconsciously it's in your head, then you're going to run into that car.
You know what, Martin? I couldn't care less. Honestly,
if he runs into one of your cars?
We have won the World Championship, and I want to keep it fair and straight, and whoever wins is completely irrelevant for me. I just want to have it a great season final and not have a lot of controversy because of another car causing a collision and then being blamed for having interfered in the championship. But fundamentally, I don't care. I did it probably out of a more holistic approach of sympathy for Max. But if things are perceived in the wrong way in the other team, they don't need me, they need a psychiatrist.
Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, the way that these drivers are going to go about their racing, they're not going to listen to what you say, because at the end of the day, they're only racing for themselves. So if they get involved, they're going to get involved. But I think you talking to his father, it comes across a little bit that you are trying to sort of control the situation between your two drivers and everybody else on the pack, to me.
It's not, I didn't call Jos because I wanted to control any situation. I've known him for a long time, and we had a chat like we had many times in the paddock. There are people who seem to get a little bit paranoid that when I'm having a conversation with somebody about various topics,